my name's Ashley Hartman, and this is my beta video. For this video, I used two problems. One was a bouldering one. It was labeled SM, but I call it the white problem. For the next problem, I used Peanut Rodeo, which is an auto belay top rope problem. Alright, the first problem I'm going to analyze is the white problem, the bouldering one. So first, let's talk about the type of holds it has. So the final hold is kind of a pocket hold. I think it possibly does seem to go further, so it could be a foot hold. However, for the purposes I used it for, there's a pocket that I was able to get both my hands in. Another hold is a jug hold. So those are actually the two starting holds are jug holds. The 1 second to the last one is also a jug hold, and they just have very nice grips, very big. They also have a undercling hold, and so it's the one, so there's the final one, the jug, and then the undercling, and you pretty much have to grab it like that. And then the final holds they have, there are some foot holds, which are kind of towards the start of the problem. I put my foot on it as a second move. And then also, it's kind of a foothold, but the final location I have my foot on, right under the final hold. It could be a foothold, or depending how you're using it, it could also be a pinch. Okay, so some basic rock climbing moves I use is edging. So I do outside edging actually at the first foothold, and it's pretty much using the outside of your foot to hold onto the rock. And then from there, the other ones, minus the final one, I use the edge of my foot just to hold onto that rock. The second basic move I use is underclinging, and it's pretty much at that rock climbing one, the 1/3 from the final. I hold onto it under and use it to kind of pull my weight more towards the wall, which just gave me a little bit more stability to move my leg over to the final place it was at. Okay, so now for the more advanced moves that I use, I did use flagging in a way. So pretty much when I'm moving my foot over to the final place it's at, and I'm doing that underclinging move, I put all of my weight on the right side of my body, which enabled me a little bit more room to reach over for that ledge and kind of, fully extend my leg to go over there. The other more advanced move I used was kind of at the end to reach the final one. It was sort of it, but it was kind of a drop knee. I kind of put my knee lower on the other one just so I can put more weight onto my left side and fully reach up for that rock climbing hold, and just kind of push off of the other one. Okay, so now for the crux of the wall. So I would definitely say from the last hold to the one that you're hanging on to was definitely the crux of the climb for me. The kind of hard part about it is at that point you're on an overhung wall, so it's pretty much, unless you position your body well, you're pretty much using all of your upper body strength to just get you over there, and I just didn't have the strength or reach to do that. Kind of how I ended up solving it is actually from an earlier step. So once you get to that undercling position, moving one of your legs to almost right under you, and it does feel kind of awkward to just have them under you, but if you move that one under you and then once you're stable move the other one under you, it kind of provides a little bit of rest for your arms, and puts a lot more pressure on your legs. And then from there you can kind of use flagging to fully extend your left leg over to the final place that you have it, and this creates a really strong base. So you're still using strength on that overhung part where you're hanging, but it definitely alleviates a lot of it from your arms, and that was just how I ended up finding out how to get over that crux. Okay, so there was two rest areas that I found really good in that climb. The first one was in that undercling. It takes a lot of grip strength to do it. And there's like a little ledge under the rock that if you can wrap your fingers around, it does take a little bit less strength. But also I found just like once you get your legs under you, resting and allowing it to kind of go on your legs instead of your arms gives you a pretty good break. The second place that I kind of took a break was on like just once you have most of your body over to the final rock climbing hold, it's really good to just take a break before you fully move your leg over it, and just to like adjust your hands and make sure you have a good grip on it, because it just makes sure that you're finishing that climb. So for the rock climbing formations that were on that wall, it started with kind of a rock face, which is just a straight up wall, and then it goes to an overhung wall around the last 3 holds.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's the Peanut Rodeo, which is the Auto Belay orange route I did. This route was on a wall face, so it was a straight up wall. It did have a flake next to it, and when I was watching people do it aside from me, I did see people using the flake, but I personally just did not use it for this problem. Okay, so some of the holds of this problem, there was 2 slope holds. They're the circular holds. The first one is about 4 rocks into the climb, and then the second one is towards the end of the climb. You see me kind of grab for it when my foot is on the orange hold with a blue rock, which is another hold that's a pinch hold, and so pretty much to grab it you have to really pinch in and pull up. They also have jibs. A lot of the times I use them more as footholds. However, in the beginning when I'm going up to that first slope hold, I do use the jib to kind of stabilize myself and help support myself on the wall. Probably the most common hold I would say in that problem was jug holds. So that's like the starting hold where it's that very good grippy area, and then just as an additional hold, pretty much after the first slope hold, when I kind of put my foot up onto it and I reach up, there's an undercling hold where you just kind of hold under it. So a couple basic moves I used during this problem. One was edging. I primarily, for my foot holds, just throughout the whole thing, I use the innermost edge of my shoe or my feet to get a good grip on the holds and really put my legs in a position where I could move on to the next hold. Another thing I used in this one was smearing. I used it with my right leg when I was up at that second slope hold and I was bringing my foot up. It was just kind of helping provide support and an extra push to get my foot on that hold. And then the final basic rock climbing move, there was an undercling moment where I just kind of pull myself to the wall and it helps pull me up to the next hold. Okay, so for my intermediate move during this one, it comes at the first slope problem. I found out when I was doing it at the beginning that my reach just wasn't enough to get up to that rock, so I do sort of do a dyno. Now, it's not to the point where my body fully leaves the wall, but I use dynamic motion to pull myself up to that wall, and then kind of as a thing I found that helps, you kind of have to let it keep going and stabilize yourself on the wall, which is why I do a little jump at that area. Also just like turning your foot so it's inside and you can really get that explosive power really helps. Okay, so for the crux of the Peanut Rodeo, I really found two cruxes, and as I developed the wall more, it kind of shifted where it was. So the original one I had a lot of problem with was actually the dynamic movement. I personally tend to prefer to go slower while I'm climbing, so just getting to that rock climb at the beginning, I just tried to figure out a way to slowly do it. And it wasn't until I had climbed it more that I really realized, like, you just had to adjust your body and get that explosive power to reach it. The second crux that I found was over by the second slope. So at the beginning, I had a lot of problem getting up it. My arms couldn't fully push my body up. And so I developed two strategies that really helped with it. The first one was, instead of just like palming it directly, getting your hand a little bit more up and having gravity help you to like pull yourself up. And then also, it's a little bit awkward of a movement. The second crux that I found was over by the second slope. So at the beginning, I had a lot of problem getting up it. My arms couldn't fully push my body up. And so I developed two strategies that really helped with it. The first one was, instead of just like palming it directly, getting your hand a little bit more up and having gravity help you to like pull yourself up. And then also, it's a little bit awkward of a movement, but I believe my right leg that was on the pinch hold with the blue rock on it, moving it like really close under me, and then using that so I can extend the leg and I'm not fully relying on just pure upper body strength, really helped me get past that crux. So the two best rest areas I found for myself on the peanut problem, one was right before the dyno. It really helped if I just kind of settled down, collected everything, really made sure to kind of bend my legs and get that explosive energy behind them. And then just being able to fully use my whole energy to go to the next rock. Second resting place I found was around the other crux. Actually the pinch hold. It required a lot of grip strength, and it's one of those things where it's like you still have to push yourself up. And like even a couple times I would start getting sweaty, and then once I was going for the slope hold after the pinch hold, I just couldn't get my grip. So just taking a couple seconds, maybe wiping off your hand, really helped.
Yep.
that's it. Thank you so much for watching my beta video. I hope you enjoyed.